Hi, welcome back to the Apatas YouTube channel. I am Zaneta Apata.
I'm Sam Apatas.
And today we are going to do a very interesting video. Since we shared our very first launch video, I think the very first topic we should cover is how did we meet?
Okay.
Are you excited?
Let's see.
Yeah. So basically how it's going to work, I am going to share my how I believe it happened. You share how you believe it happened. We're not gonna go deep in terms of the relationship itself, but we're just gonna cover on how we actually met. And for me, the reason I thought about to cover how we met is also just to show how God can use any situation for your good. It doesn't matter even if the situation was negative, but He can, bring out the positive in that situation. So how I met my husband is through a friend of an ex, a person I used to date before. And that person, when I was dating him, this was his friend. And when the relationship ended, we remained in contact with a friend. And we used to joke around. He used to tell me that I must help him, find him a good Zulu woman, right? Because it was also in SA. And I would jokingly say that he should get me a good Nigerian man, because I already knew my criteria and I already knew what I wanted, and that was a man who was a foreign national. Story for another day. But anyway, so he then sent me a message that he's now finally going to give this guy my number. And I was like, whatever, okay, it's okay. And then he called me. What did you say? What did you say? I can't even remember what you said. Tell me, how did you feel when you first made that call? What was running through your mind? Because at the time, he was actually in a relationship himself.
So the friends she's referring to, told me about her, and I was like, oh, okay. Give me a number and let's.
What did he say about me, if you still remember?
I can't remember. The relationship she was referring to, was kind of like ending. Also, then it wasn't as promising as it started. So hence I was like, okay, that said friend should give me her number, and he did, and I gave her a call. She's been looking for me, and
all I remember is when he called me. Honestly, where I was emotionally, in every way, I was not looking for any relationship, even though I would want to meet a right guy, because I was tired as well of the people that I was meeting, and so the kind of guys that I was getting into relationships with. In the beginning it would be great, and then the norm, during the relationship things change. So when he called me, we did not meet immediately. We took a long, maybe, I don't know if it was months or weeks or whatever, I don't know, until we finally met. And when he called, I remember when he called me, I was when he called me to say we should meet, we met actually at a club, in Senton, there by, what was it called? Village Walk. No, the area was called Village Walk in Senton. And that's where we actually met. So he called me when I was at my mom's house, and I was I think it was a Friday evening, and I was with my mom, and I was going to obviously drive back to where I was staying because I was staying by myself. So when he called me, he's like, oh, come, let's meet, you know, let's finally hook up, you know, come to Sentin, I'm with my friends, let's go clubbing. I'm like, okay, I'll come. And yeah, I drove to Sentin. I even got a ticket, I remember.
Yeah, she couldn't wait to see her husband to be. She was very eager and
That's what you think. That's what.
Even my voice on the phone is enough to make you drive 130.
Really?
130
If that was the
kilometers
case,
per
I
hour.
would have made arrangements to meet you long time. Yes, I agree that your voice for me was very nice when you first called me. I was like, who is this guy? You know. But I mean, I could have decided to meet you immediately, but.
The shorter version of the story is that she got a ticket driving because she was driving very fast to meet me. Yeah.
Was it? No, it was not fast. The speed limit was 60 kilometers.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
not fast. If I went 62 kilometers, it's not
you
fast.
went above the speed limit.
Yeah, but it's not fast.
You know.
I just didn't realize that there's a speed limit. Is this much, you know? Anyway, so
just accept that you couldn't wait to.
okay, fine. I couldn't wait to meet him.
That's good.
Anyway, so we met. We went to the village, whatever. And the very first thing that I liked about him was how gentle and how sweet he was. How he opened the doors for me. He was holding my bag, and something that I'm so grateful. Yeah, the first day, yes. When I was going to, I don't know, we were in love, I guess. You were so mesmerized. No, but you were mesmerized. Because I remember, yes, you were in love. You were in love. Except that you were in love. Because I remember when I was wait, when I was going to to the bathrooms and stuff like that. You would accompany me. Okay, let me go with you. Let me hold your bag for you. What do you want?
Sure.
What do you need? Do you want more drinks? What do you need? Like, he was such a nice guy. He was taken immediately when he saw me. True or false?
You're a beautiful woman. And being the first date, I have to be nice, you know.
Oh.
And yeah, I mean, time has proven it that I am a nice person.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm checking your arm. You're very sweet.
you know, so it's not that I was being nice in order to get anything from me. But again, being the first date, you know, any guy would be nice to a lady.
No, not any guy.
Okay.
I've been on first dates, and some dates were not nice.
Okay.
On the first date.
So again, time has proven the kind of person I am.
Yeah, it has. So yeah, that was our club, experience. And then he wanted me to, literally, he couldn't let go of me, ne? He wanted us to be driving. He was driving his car, I was driving my own, and he was with his friends. So he would say, okay, let's drive to, I think it was it Melville or what? I can't even remember. During the times of News Cafe popping and stuff and Capellos, I think. You wanted us to go there, and when you get there, it wasn't happening, and you're like, okay, let's go there. And then at some point, we ended up in Soweto, where they used to stay with his friends and sharing the. Do you remember? You were staying with Sheko.
Yeah, that was
Soweto, Southgate, same WhatsApp group. Anyway, so and I remember on the first night, my husband wanted to kiss me. True or false?
I used to drink then, so I guess I had a few in the blood. I had some blood in my alcohol.
You had some blood in your alcohol. You had alcohol in your blood.
It's a joke.
Oh.
That's how they say it on Twitter Street.
Okay. Yeah. So, because at the time, I was also serious about the kind of person that I wanted to be with. I wasn't like, I'm not going anywhere with this guy. I must play hard to get. I am kissing nobody. Yeah. And that was it. But I must say that from that Friday that we met, we were together every single weekend. I lived in Olifantsfontein, he lived in Southgate. We were together every weekend. Sometimes skipping work to hang out. Like we just enjoyed each other's company, you know?
Yeah, and we've been enjoying each other's company ever since then. And the relationship grew from just from that date to where it is today. Next year it's gonna be our 10th year. Come June 2020, it's gonna be our 10th year of meeting. We're gonna mark our 6th year of being married in September 2020.
It definitely has been a blessing. That's why in the beginning I said God can use any situation to bring out something good out of it. You know, my experience with that previous guy that I was dating at the time when it ended, I was like, oh, why me? Oh, again, what? But through...
Oh, you cried?
About what?
About the breakup.
But he was my boyfriend. How would I not cry? And at the time, I don't know any better. I feel like my world is finishing. Like I'm dying because this person is, you know. That's how I was thinking at the time. You know. And then I was like, oh, I me, wada. But God being God and him knowing what he was doing, because if you look at it, myself, my husband met through that guy, me dating that person, because that's how I was going to meet his friend, who then connected us together. So what I'm saying is that every situation, it doesn't matter. There's always something good that will come out of it. We just give it time and it will unveil itself. And you know, because even our relationship, we've become very good friends. And you know, my husband is my friend. I mean, he's my friend. He knows it, you know. And yes, we would sometimes have whatever disagreements, but he's my friend, and I know that I can trust him. I know that I can, you know, I know I've grown even knowing him alone. So that is our story and how we met.
One of the highlights of our relationship at the beginning is during the World Cup, because we met on the 28th or something like that Friday.
28th May 2010.
Yes, and Philip is here for those that were clued up about what was happening during the World Cup. It was called Philip is here, and
yeah, we used to go attend those.
So
matches.
We attended the matches, some in Santon, so there's a particular one we attended in Newtown. We look for the photo and we share it. I think you know, it's an highlight of our relationship. So like you said, from that weekend we've been together, we've been seeing each other, and the other relationship she mentioned fell off, and our commitment to each other grew from there.
That's why.
And God has been faithful indeed. It has been a blessing. Zanele, my wife, it's been a blessing indeed. God has been. She said yesterday, well, in the previous video, that I've learned a lot from her. That's absolutely true. I've learned a lot from her. She's learned from me, but I've become a better man and husband, and father also, because of who she has been and the blessing that she has been.
It's been truly a blessing to have met you. I mean, there were so many signs that I seen about my husband when we were still dating, about how different he was from everybody that I've met. You know, things that told me that this guy is, you know, he's here, like for real, you know. For example, when he used to come to my house, my place, he will call and say, oh, do you want me to bring something to eat? Should I bring this? Should I bring that? And it was the first time in my life any guy would do that. You know, where you would think of a guy will come and like he would come with anything, you know. So those were actions that showed me. Also, what I liked about him was the honesty. I remember the first time when we met, I asked him if he's got a girlfriend, and he was honest enough to say yes. And that for me stood out for me, because again, the people that I used to meet, you know, to be one story another, like saying, oh, they're no longer together, or they're in the process of a divorce, and find out months later that it's actually a lie. So that's what I appreciated about him. And he got to a point where he said he wants to make a decision of who he wants to be with, because he's not about this life of doing one girlfriend there, another there. So he made a decision that who he wanted to be, and obviously it was me. I mean, so anyway, so those were the qualities and the things that I saw about my husband that I'm like, okay, this guy is pretty solid. So that's our story in how we met. And you know, we are sharing this also, that, you know, don't look down on, because even when we met, you know, we were like, bruh, like even him, he was at a different level altogether. So what I'm saying is that don't look down on anybody, you know. Don't be led into relationships on what the guy has, what the guy owns, or what the lady has, or, you know, those kind of things. And actually ask God to give you the right person. As much as I didn't really ask, he just knew that he had to give me this person, and then he worked his miracle in bringing the guy.
That's true. If I, you know, so some of the things you've mentioned in another way is for ladies, you know, look out for kindness, love. Look out for how he handles other people, how that guy treats other people. Watch him, you know, and how he relates with other people, and obviously with you, and how he handles you, and some of the things, how he handles some of the things that he disagrees with, you know, maybe through what you would have said or something. But my point is, and to buttress our point also, is that, you know, flashy cars, flashy apartments, or home, or all these material things, they are absolutely secondary. Not to say we're not downplaying them in any way, but we, through our experience and from our personal life, what we saw and truly attracted us to each other is the kindness, the humanity, the love that we share, the trust that we share. I trust my wife trusts me, and you know, there is we don't hide anything. Well, nothing that I can think of that we've ever hidden from each other. She knows what I do part-time, I know where she is part-time, and we communicate often. So those are the characteristics that are very key, that you know, young people should look out for, you know. And for the guy also, it applies to you to say, you know, it's not just about, you know, should you in any way, should both of you in any way involving in premarital sex. You know, for the guy, it's not about how sweet that is. You know, it's more than that. Especially if it's gonna be a long-lasting relationship, you need to look out for more. And part of those more, if I may re-emphasize, is kindness, love, and how you both handle and treat each other.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Maybe you can share with us in the maybe comment section about you know, in what we've shared with you now, that, you know, maybe kind of like resonated with you, or that maybe helped you to see, you know, relationships differently, or, you know, anything that you think you could share with us as well, because we all know that stories are all different for everybody, and we have our own story. This is our own story, and our own story is also to encourage others that, you know, even within their own stories, something could come out of it, you know.
Yeah, and you can also share in the comments below how you met your significant other, as they say.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Thank you, guys.
God bless you.